Hello, my name's Scott Perry. I'm a professional magician and this is a magic review.
It's a kind of magic.
In today's review, we're looking at the Indian Cups and Balls by TCC Magic. The TLDR is very quick on this one. It's such a fantastic product. We'll go into all of the details, but whether you are experienced with cups and balls or you're a complete beginner and you've never performed cups and balls before, this is a great set to buy. It's good quality, it has good instructions, and overall, the value that TCC are giving you here is really, really good. So I cannot recommend this highly enough. I think it's a wonderful set of cups and balls for the whole spectrum of magicians. That's the TLDR. Let's get into a few of the details. What is it? Well, it's the classic cups and balls in a Indian or South Asian style from the history of magic. So these cups and balls are typical from India and South Asia from many years past. So what it is a complete set of cups and balls of that style of cups and balls rather than the more generic or more common, I should say, not generic, more common cups and balls that are more like a Western style cup. So that's what it is. It is a full package. Basically, it comes with routine and everything. That's what it is. It's a modern version, a reimagining, or with new materials, I should say, just a really new, well-made, up-to-date version of the classic Asian cups and balls. What do you get? Well, let me show you the initial packaging. So of course the box is very sturdy, it's very nice. It's going to be easy to keep your cups and balls in this if you so wish. But let's just have a look at this packaging. I think TCC are really just doing so well over recent years of modernizing magic, of making it accessible, making it high quality as well. I think that everything here, the small touches of keeping the sponge between the cups like this to keep it safe during transit is great. The magic from TCC is now looking like products from other sectors, not the entertainment industry. I mean, not magic products. This for me is not completely the same, but it's similar to Apple packaging. It's so good. And this is how magic should be presented to us when we're spending money on it. So yeah, that was just a little point I wanted to make out, that I think TCC are really killing it recently with how they're presenting magic, how they're creating magic. But let's continue with what you get. As well as the 3 cups, you also receive 6, I think, balls, crocheted balls, red crochet balls, and then you also receive a magic wand that is also in the same material as the 3 cups. You also receive 15 minutes of instructions. I think technically it's 16 minutes, but yes, it's very short instructions hosted on Vimeo. I'll come to that in a second as to why I think that's a good thing, but this is what you receive. 3 cups, a wand, and 6 crocheted balls. None of these crocheted balls are magnetic as far as I'm aware. It doesn't mention anything like that in the instructions. They are just standard crochet balls. The cups are not magnetic either. They are just standard machine engraved cups, I guess. I don't know exactly how they're made, but they feel very nice. In the video description below, there are dimensions and weight of all of these cups and everything that's included if you're interested in the very fine details of these cups and balls. Oh, also, this is a bit that I'm filming after I've finished the review, so I'm going to try and add this in somewhere. I mentioned that the fact that the instructions are only 16 minutes is a good thing, so I'm going to quickly explain why. The sleights and the routine that they explain in the instructions are amazing. There's so many moves, and also moves that are unique to this set of cups and balls. They don't give you any presentation. The explanation and the tutorial is done in Chinese with subtitles, English subtitles. So that's something to consider if you don't like reading with foreign languages if Chinese isn't your home language. But I do think that what they've chosen to do with the instructions of this in comparison to older tutorials for products is I think it's a much better idea for the TCC products to be explained in Chinese with English subtitles, because in the past, some of the tutorials where Chinese natives are trying to explain in English have not been particularly good. And yes, this just seems like a more seamless way of learning. But it is something to consider if you don't like reading subtitles. There's not much to read, if I'm honest. You can learn everything through simply watching the video. It's very clear, and the studio instructions, they show you with clear cups. So everything is really well laid out. It's very easy to learn. And they also are very comprehensive. So this is why I mentioned before how 16 minutes isn't necessarily a bad thing, because in those 16 minutes, they teach you lots of things. They teach you one full routine of performing with these cups, and then they teach you like 10 or 15 various loads and stills and different techniques to use with cups and balls. So they have packed in a lot of information in those 16 minutes. As I mentioned as well in the review, it's hosted on Vimeo. There's a link inside the packaging to access that, and they are downloadable as well. So you do get to own the instructions. So yes, I will insert this post-production, and that's a little bit of information, extra information on the tutorial. Overall, that's what you receive when you're buying the Indian Cups and Balls by TCC. How easy is it? It's certainly not an easy routine to pick up. It's going to take some practice, but just like any cups and balls is going to require some practice. It's not something that you can just step into, buy, receive, and then perform. You're going to have to put some days, some weeks into practice. You're also probably, as well as practicing the sleights and everything that are taught with this, you're also going to need to probably come up with some kind of presentation or some kind of routine that makes it more engaging and more interesting than simply the mechanics of cups and balls. So in terms of skill level, while it's approachable to absolute beginner magicians, and it is, fairly easy to perform, it will require practice to get it down. And so skill level is I would say moderate, but it is something that even a beginner magician is able to accomplish. It's just how much time you want to put into it, like a lot of magic tricks. Reset time, I guess, is kind of not really relevant to this review. It's cups and balls. So it's going to take a couple of seconds to reset it. There's various teachings of lapping, of palming, of certain moves and things. So it's not something that I'm sure you'll know is not an instant reset. It's also not a routine that you're just going to perform over and over, unless perhaps you're a street performer, in which case, reset time is very fast, like any cups and balls. So I think that reset time, you're probably going to know what it is. It's very short, but not something that you could instantly repeat it from group to group. But it's the same as with all cups and balls. Angles are particularly good with the Indian cups and balls. The way that you're picking the cups up, because of the way that they are designed and the Indian style of these cups and balls, and the way that you handle them is actually really good. So it gives you more cover, these stems of the cups. It gives you more cover than in certain movements and certain loads and certain mechanics. It gives you more cover than Western style cups and balls. I really think that the angles are perhaps better than a more generic cups and balls set. So yeah, the angles are overall are really, really good, but they will be in line with what you can expect with all cups and balls. Pocket space, much like reset time, I think is not really relevant to this. You can see what the pocket space takes up. As I say in the video description below this video, not in the comments, but in the description, you will find the exact measurements for these cups, the weight as well, and for the magic wand as well. So if that is something that's important to you for carrying purposes, for transportation purposes, or for purposes of things like your hand or the final load, if you want to get something like a baseball under here, you would certainly need a mini one. A regulation baseball is not going to fit underneath here. So yes, if you want those specific details for loads and things, definitely have a look at the video description below. And yeah, what more is there to say? This is your pocket space. It's not going to go into your pocket. The cups and balls is a routine, is a magic trick that you would have in a box or in a plush bag that you would carry in like a drawstring bag. And yeah, that's roughly what the pocket space is. My final thoughts on this are much like the TLDR at the beginning. I think this is a fantastic set. So right now, this is at a discount. At the moment of posting this, what are we on? I think we're on the 31st of May 2023. As of today, the price of this is, I think, $79.99 US. And that promotion, that sale price from TCC is going to eventually go up after the 18th of June to $120. So if you're interested in this and you like the look of it and you would like to pick up a box set of the Indian cups and balls, then I would definitely say pick it up in the next month, or at least before the 18th of June, because the discount that TCC are offering is significant. I don't get anything for saying that. I just really think this is a great product. Along with that, I think, of course, after the 18th of June, the full retail price of this will be going up to $120. And I also think that TCC are just really doing a lot of great things. Not all of their effects, not all of their releases hit the mark. Some of them are great, some of them are okay, and then some of them are not so brilliant. But I think generally, as a whole, the TCC brand are really doing a lot to improve magic. And they're really doing a lot to offer people really high quality versions of effects and tricks that either haven't been available for a long time, or are modernized versions, or are just TCC's take on a version of an older effect. So yeah, I think hats off to TCC. I really love this product. I mean, if you buy it, I think you will too. If you're a fan of cups and balls, I think, and you don't have one of these sets of this style of cups and balls, I think it's definitely worth the purchase. I think it's 100% worth the money. And the routine and the performance is, of course, down to how much you're willing to practice. But overall, I really love this product. Thank you to TCC for sending this to me. I think it's fantastic. So that's the review for today. If you have any questions, leave it in a comment below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next review.